Today we're talking about a really serious and heavy topic, so please take care of yourself, and I will have some resources linked below that you could refer to. Children and adolescents who have been sexually abused can suffer a range of psychological and behavioral problems. I'm going to talk about these today, some of those psychological and behavioral issues that can come up as a result of childhood sexual abuse. I'm Natalie Gerry. I'm a lawyer who helps people get compensation for their injuries, and specifically I assist survivors of sexual abuse to get compensation for what happened to them. So today we're going through these psychological and behavioral effects that can range from mild to severe and that can affect both the long and short term. These effects vary depending on the circumstances of the abuse and the child's developmental stage. The experience of childhood sexual abuse can change the way children and young people understand their world, the people in it, and where they belong. Their understanding of themselves and the world can become distorted. This can create mistrust, fear, and a feeling of betrayal. Depending on the relationship and the duration of the sexual harm, subsequent relational trauma could affect the child's ability to connect with others and with themselves. Their personality and behaviors might change markedly from what they were prior to the sexual abuse. Manipulative nature of grooming that perpetrators use to get close to their victims can cause ongoing thought distortions, self-identity issues, relational harm, and isolation of the child. This can have devastating effects on the child's long-term development, including their ability to form relationships later in life and their ability to earn income and sustain their living. So some of the potential short-term effects. Some of these can range from increased illness, body aches, or other physical complaints, poor attendance or performance at school, difficulty concentrating or memory loss, mood changes, regressive behaviors, sleeping and eating disorders, lack of self-esteem, nightmares, self-harm or suicidal thoughts, self-hatred or reduced self-esteem, disinhibited behavior, zoning out or not listening. These are just some of the short-term effects that a child might show if they were experiencing sexual abuse. So now let's talk about some of the potential long-term effects. So these can include things like suicidal ideation, post-traumatic stress, sexual difficulties, inability to form lasting relationships, identity difficulties, relationship problems, parenting difficulties, alcohol and substance misuse, the development of violent behavior, the development of criminal behavior. A parent or carer's belief, support, and actions to stop the harm after a child's disclosure have an impact on the child's resilience and recovery from the sexual abuse. If a child is not believed or supported appropriately after disclosure, this can lead to a higher level of relational trauma for the child, leading to significantly more negative health and mental health outcomes for the child in the long term. A major review of studies found that childhood sexual abuse can lead to many different problems in 5 main areas. So first, medical issues. Secondly, mental health struggles. Third, sexual difficulties. Fourth, self-harm. And fifth, other general challenges. These effects can happen no matter how often the abuse occurred, who the abuser was, or what kind of comparison was used in the research. Adults who were sexually abused as children may struggle with depression, anxiety, and sexual problems. Survivors who experienced force or threats are more likely to suffer from extreme fear, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts or actions. The younger a child is when the abuse starts, and the longer it lasts, the more severe the trauma symptoms tend to be. Longer abuse also affects a child's sense of identity, leading to stronger survival instincts, while force or threats often cause even more lasting harm. These are very serious things to know about in terms of the long long-term effects of childhood sexual abuse, and some of these can be claimed through a civil lawsuit. So these are factors that we would be arguing increase your general damages, because these are effects that go throughout your entire life and they affect almost every aspect of your being. If you have particular questions about your circumstances in terms of what legal action could be taken, please feel free to reach out to me at the contact information below.